Gainesville, Georgia is a growing town right here in the middle of Hall County, and it is where I call home. With 49,000 residents, myself being one of them, it is one of the bigger towns in our area for sure. And in my opinion, the location of Gainesville cannot be beat. In most parts of town, you are just minutes from Lake Lanier, and that's hands down one of the best things about living here. And in fact, if you want to live directly on Lake Lanier, this is one of the best places to be. You're only about 45 minutes south of the North Georgia mountains. Sometimes you can see them driving around town, and you're about an hour north of Atlanta, so this really makes it a perfect place to live. But don't just take my word for it. Just a few weeks ago, we hit the streets and went to Gainesville's annual Mule Camp Festival, which is a big fall festival, carnival. It's a great time, and it's something that a lot of people love about living here. And to me, it is kind of encompasses all the things that make Gainesville so great. There's always something happening. Here in Gainesville, there's Food Truck Fridays in the summer, and you've got Mule Camp Festival in the fall. You've got the chicken lighting in Christmas time. And yeah, you heard that right. We light a chicken because Gainesville is the chicken capital of the world. Of course you knew that, right? Especially if you watch some of my other videos. But I wanted to get some locals' opinion besides my own. Don't take my word for it, right? Let's find out what makes Gainesville great and not so great. What do you like about living in Gainesville?
Being close to the lake, the mountains, just far enough away to go to Atlanta in a day trip.
Yes, that's definitely my favorite things. How long have y'all lived here?
All my life.
I've only been here 4 years, but I love it.
Where were you before?
Down south, near Perry.
Okay. I grew up in Austin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so South Georgia, you know. And what is your most favorite thing about being here?
I just really love my neighborhood.
Okay. Anything that you found that you don't like or that's maybe a little bit different than being in Perry?
I'm happy here.
What about you?
Well, it'd be hard to say since I've never lived anywhere but here.
Yeah.
So, but I go visit places and I'm always excited to get back home.
Now, the biggest reason why people gave us for why they love living in the area is because of the sense of community. Even though it is a bigger town, people who live here are still very connected. You're going to hear many people say that they moved to Gainesville from other areas and have found that the people are kind and that they make deep connections with the people around them.
Oh my goodness.
What do you like about living in Gainesville?
I love that people are nice.
Yes.
I love that it's honestly, yeah, it's just, I lived somewhere else. I won't name where. But I love how friendly people are. And I love that it's like this city has it just feels like a heart for other people, for each other. It's kind of like that thing of love your neighbor. I feel like there's a lot of that going on here. And I love that.
Awesome. What would you say?
The people. I've lived here all my life, and even though we've gotten bigger, it's more of a melting pot now. It's still that small town feel. Even though we're bigger, you still feel more connected because you still know all the people that surround you. Even just like Luann, I've not known her very long, but it's just a friendly environment here. You go outside the outskirts there, and it's just not as friendly. It's just here in Gainesville, everybody's friendly. It's a friendly feel here. So move to Gainesville.
What would you say are the downsides or maybe things that you don't like about living here or that you wish something was different?
Well, see, I'm still new, so I haven't figured out what I don't like yet.
Okay. How long have you been here?
Just since last November.
Awesome.
Yeah, so not quite a year.
Okay.
And yeah, so far I'm loving it. Yeah.
That's great.
What's your downside?
We're working on that. We're getting more restaurants.
Yes.
So I would say just more activity, more things for the young kids to do. Definitely, if we could have more of that, would be a positive thing for us. I think we're working on that.
All right. So what do you like about living in this area?
I like the community. I like being involved in the JCs and just seeing familiar faces everywhere I go is always good to get that. So.
Any downsides living here?
Not that I can see. It's getting a little crowded though. I will say that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What do you like about living in Gainesville?
The small town vibe. You run into a grocery store and you see people you live next door to, and it's just a nice, homely place to live.
How long have you lived here?
For 10 years now.
I love all the little shops. The people are very friendly. Lived here for 35 years and I love it.
Anything that you don't like about living here?
No.
Awesome. Thank you. So what do you like about living in Gainesville?
The change of the climates. I like the friendly of the people, how the people and everything. I'm from Florida, so originally, so it's just a totally different atmosphere.
Yeah. How long have you lived here?
About 15 years.
Okay. Anything that you would change?
Wish the beach was closer.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
So what else do people like about living in Gainesville?
We love Gainesville. We've lived here for 15 years now, and it's got a little bit of everything. It's got a sweet community and a great downtown life, and lots of opportunities for our kids and our young family. So,
what do you maybe what are some of the drawbacks of living here? What you don't like or wish would change?
it's growing. It's growing and getting big, which is good and bad.
Yeah, definitely. What's your favorite local restaurant?
There's so many good.
I know.
What's your favorite?
Mexican.
She loves going to Mexican, that's for sure.
Yeah, same.
We loved Harvest Kitchen before it's no longer a restaurant, so that was a
Yes.
sad one.
But now they're doing catering. So
Now
we
they
just have to
are, so we just
find
find
an event.
events. We just have to host things now,
Yes.
which is great. And we love Recess downtown and avocados.
Awesome.
Well, we were just sitting here talking about how we have so much here.
So much.
Like, we were talking in another city about not having parks. And this is, why would people not come here?
Yeah. What a blessing to live in this nice town.
Definitely. How long have you lived here?
40 years.
Wow. Wow.
Lots of seasons.
We have a great church. It's just, nice neighbors.
Yes.
What's not to like?
Good schools.
We have 2 Aldis.
Yes, that definitely applies. That's one of my favorite things too. As you just heard, something that a lot of people mentioned as both a pro and a con was, well, all of the growth. The town has gone through massive changes through the last decade or so. We have a ton of new restaurants, apartment buildings, neighborhoods, lots going on. Some people find that there are plenty of things to do here around Gainesville, and you'll hear some people say, like, they wish there was a little bit more. All right, so what do you like about living in the area?
We like the parks that we have here.
I think it's a quiet area, more calm, good for kids.
Good for kids, yeah, definitely.
How long have you lived here?
7 years.
7 years.
Where'd you move from?
Germany.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the biggest difference that you would say from being in Germany to
To
here?
here.
Lifestyle is different.
Lifestyle is completely different. I think from the nature, it's about similar. The only difference in Germany, on the weekends we maybe used to go to the mountains, and here we can go to Helen, for example.
Yeah.
It's similar, I would say.
Anything that you don't like about living here that you've seen as kind of like a headache or a drawback?
I think maybe what would be nice to have more here in the area would be like more, not nightlife, but more activity, more restaurants, options, this kind of stuff, But Atlanta is also not far away, so when we want something different, we just go to Atlanta. But yeah, it would be nice to have something more attractions here.
What would you say are some of the downsides to living here?
I don't know if there were any downsides. Yeah, I love the lake. We spend a lot of time out on the lake. Shopping. There's too far from the mall.
Yeah, I agree.
That would probably be about it.
So one of the surprising things that we found out whenever we took this question to the streets of what do you don't like about living in Gainesville was, well, this answer.
Just a nice town and the nice things that they have going on.
Anything you don't like about this area?
No, not particularly.
Any downsides or what you don't like about living in Gainesville?
No, not really. It's pretty great all around.
They absolutely love it, and they could not think of anything that they would criticize about living in Gainesville. And then you had these sweet ladies. They definitely hit the nail on the head.
Well, I think all of us have rising taxes, so, I don't know if it's going to be any different anywhere else.
Right.
I just wish it wouldn't get any bigger. But it's so nice. Why wouldn't people want to come here?
Don't put this on where anybody can see it.
They make a good point. Our town is growing and so are our taxes. But obviously they find enough value in the town to not be bothered by the growth and the downsides that brings. And I think we are all noticing rising taxes, especially because home values have gone up so much over the past couple of years. And I'm sure you're experiencing that no matter where you are living. But the one thing most people could agree on was
The traffic.
Traffic. And what do you not like about living here? Or what's some of the drawbacks?
E.E. Butler traffic.
Traffic's getting kind of bad.
There's traffic everywhere, but I think it's more so here than back in my hometown.
Traffic's no good anymore.
I don't love the traffic.
There's still some traffic here on Fridays. They're pretty,
Traffic, especially on a Friday. That's
Yes.
really it.
It's grown a lot, so there's a lot of traffic, and it's not my favorite thing. I wouldn't say too many dislikes. The traffic's not so good.
Yes, it can get very busy, especially during holiday season.
Yes.
So you heard it, the traffic. With that growth comes traffic. And I like to joke around, we often, have a lot of you that reach out and you're relocating from all areas and parts of the country, and you get here and you're like, what traffic? There is no traffic. And I'm sure if you were to take someone from Atlanta and you were to have them live in Gainesville or Flowery Branch or other parts of Hall County, they would also laugh and say, what traffic? Y'all are crazy. For someone that has lived here for 7 years now, I find myself complaining about the traffic. We get a lot of local traffic on the weekends. You definitely notice it when it's a Friday, Saturday. People are going out to eat, people are going shopping. And you know what? It's fun though, because that means that we have a vibrant economy here. We have restaurants that are getting people coming from other areas and they want to visit. And so, yes, it can be a headache, and it's not like a 7-day-a-week thing. It's definitely not an Atlanta thing. So you got to put some perspective around that when it comes to the traffic. So what do you think? Are you looking for that deep sense of community that so many people have found here in Gainesville? Are you considering an area where you get a chance to go to these types of festivals all the time and feel that sense of community and deal with a tiny bit of traffic and all the growth that's coming along with it? If you want to dive a little bit more into Gainesville, make sure you check out this video where I give you more information on my experience living here in Gainesville. Make sure you check this out.